I realized that my problem with smoking was basically that I was very unaware of my thoughts or of my feelings because of the cigarettes. So this is what changed the whole thing. I decided I'm gonna be just aware and I'm gonna be present and I'm gonna experience what I have to experience. Today, I wanted to share my story of how I quit smoking cigarettes. It's about 10 years successfully, and I want to share all of the details with you. Maybe that can help. I quit smoking, as I said, 10 years ago, but I smoked also for 7 years because I started smoking as a teenager. And that started as a joke, kind of, you know, like when you're a teenager, you go to a party and you want to try things because you want to be cool and you want to look like an adult and all of that. Well, I did that as well. And I liked it. Well, at first I felt a bit dizzy, and then I tried it again because, you know, I wanted to be cool. So I wanted to do it again and again and again and again. I was smoking kind of on parties until I was in high school, secondary school, however you want to call it in your countries. But then I finished that and then I went to work somewhere, and that I had night shifts. So I remembered at night I was so bored. I hated my job and all I did was smoking, and I would take a break because the people who smoked, you know, they have more breaks than the ones that don't smoke. The last maybe 3 years that I smoked, I was smoking more and more. I would smoke a full 1.5 package in one day. Not every day, but almost. I never actually, let me be honest, I never thought I was gonna quit because I never thought that was a problem. I had this friend, an Argentinian friend. He was really much into smoking. We used to meet up for coffee and we used to smoke a lot together. But one day he comes to me and he says, you know what? I decided I'm gonna quit smoking. And that never, you're gonna say like, how crazy, you never thought of it. I never thought of quitting before he mentioned it. Never ever before. Out of coincidence, not connected one thing to the other, I had stopped running for maybe 2 years or something because I was more focused on only doing like fitness, gym. I've been, if you follow me on Instagram, you know I'm a bit of a sport fanatic. I've been working out since I'm 14 years of age. I don't stop and I love it. So, but there was a point when I stopped running because I was an athlete for school. Then I stopped and then I went to the gym. So these years that I was smoking the most, I was at the gym mostly, you know, doing, you know, like fitness, like weights and stuff like that. But I wasn't really running. I was not that focused. But then there was a point when I decided to go running again around the time that he said he was gonna quit. And I go running and I was dying. I remember I went up a hill. I had to stop because I felt like horrible. I felt like I was gonna puke. I couldn't breathe. It was horrible. And so that moment, his voice came up here when he said, I'm gonna quit smoking. And then I thought, damn, I might need to quit smoking as well. I decided to quit smoking, and I was sure that inside of me, inside of my head, I could find the right mindset for me to stop smoking. I didn't think it was a big deal. I thought like, I can really quit. I don't need to do this, blah, blah, blah. I was very much into partying those days. And I remember going almost every weekend or every weekend, more than once, like Thursday, maybe Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I was partying. I was with friends partying. And it was so weird, the moments when, you know, you're not having this smoking break. It was like a moment when it was just weird. Or I would walk with the smokers and then I would be there standing, and it was so awkward. So one of the first things that I realized is that smoking made the awkward moments less awkward. And that's something that actually many other things do, like alcohol or maybe even drugs. You feel like less awkward. You avoid actually feeling the discomfort because you just make yourself busy. And that's what I was doing. And I remember feeling like, what am I gonna do now? And I think I was drinking even more because I felt like, yeah, if I drink, then I don't feel that awkward. But still, you know, smoking gives your hands, it was like I needed my hands to be doing something, but it was weird. And not even drinking could compensate for it. I realized that my problem with smoking was basically that I was very unaware of my thoughts or of my feelings because of the cigarettes. So this is what changed the whole thing. I decided I'm gonna be just aware and I'm gonna be present and I'm gonna experience what I have to experience, because I don't want to go back to smoking. Because, you know, I saw in that moment, even though it was difficult, I just saw like the smoking was having an effect on me that was controlling my life somehow. And I didn't want to be someone who is relying on something external in order to feel good. And this was the very first time in my life when I noticed that there was something outside of me that was having more control on me. And actually, I'm so glad that I had this experience very young, because that set a tone, I think, for my life in general up until now. I consider myself someone who is not very prone to addictions. I think due to this, because I notice how addictions work. Addictions work as a subconscious thought that's running your mind when you don't want to deal with your emotions, when you don't want to deal with situations in your life, and it just comes as some easy bandage that you put on top. It was tough. I remember being, so the next times onwards in parties, because I didn't stop partying, feeling like there were people that I didn't really want to talk to, but before I would talk to because it was easier while I was smoking. But now I just decided I was not going to stop. I was not going to talk to them anymore because it was awkward, but because it was more important for me to keep my promise to myself, and also my body, my physical health, to keep it like to an optimal level in order to keep performing as an athlete. I was like, no, I'm not gonna do this. I'm gonna be just mindful. I was already running my own company, so I didn't have to have these breaks while I was smoking that I told you before. So that was easier. That's another thing. So if you're doing something in your life that doesn't really feel right to you, like doing this job that I was doing, that it was, yeah, of course, it was like my first job, and I was working in a call center. But still, like it felt like I used to hate the job. It was a repetitive task, and my only one way to feel out of like a mental relief was smoking. So maybe that's another thing, that if you're watching this because you also have, or you are facing that problem that you want to stop smoking, look at the areas in your life where you might be doing something that you don't feel happy about. And maybe smoking is like a safe place where you go to in order to don't deal with it. So you might have to remake or rebuild your life and stop doing things you don't want to do, stop talking with people you don't want to talk. It's a very interesting process, but the most important tool that I want to share with you that I use, this is one thing I want to give you away. I told myself, in this moment, I choose not to do it. In this moment, I don't need it. Really, honestly, I can deal with it in this moment, this moment. Later on, I don't care, but this moment, I choose not to. You're gonna do that continuously, or anytime you feel like you wanna smoke, and you say, in this moment, I choose not to, because the future is always gonna become into a now moment. It's gonna also be, you're gonna experience it as now. And you know, when you do that, you forget about it. And then you look back and you were like, oh, actually, the thought went away, the feeling went away. It was just mind-blowing. And this is not something I read anywhere, a book or anything. It just came from my own, it was my idea. That was my way of doing it. I have to be honest, there was a time when I started feeling like I want to do it, I want to smoke it, and I gave myself permission to do it. And I think this is the key to my success in all of these years, because whenever I felt like I couldn't hold it any longer, I did it, but I did it giving myself permission to do it because I was going to do it mindfully, and I wanted to allow myself to feel what the whole experience did to my emotions and to my body. And when I did that, that was like mind-blowing. There were very few occasions when I could finish the cigarette or smoke two. I think I always was like halfway. I was like, oh my God, this feels bad. Oh my God, I feel dizzy or whatever. And you know, the thing is, like, many people, when they do it once, they feel like, oh, I'm back at smoking. But I never took it that way. I always took it like, it's just a break. And you cannot take it as, oh, I'm so horrible and I'm so bad. No, I just took it like, oh, it's a one-time thing. And I was not afraid of giving it a try and to experience how bad it felt. And I think throughout all of these years, I think this past year, 2020, I didn't smoke once at all. The year before, I don't think I smoked either. 2018, I think I might have smoked 2 times, because I remember that year I went to Asia, I traveled, and I remember I smoked 2 cigarettes during that trip. And the year before, so maybe every year that's passing, I've been smoking less. But if I tell you, in a year, I might have had max 4 cigarettes every year from 2010 up until now. So that's my success story. That's how I managed to don't smoke. I don't miss it anymore. I don't. And slowly, I've been allowing myself to, you know, as I said, going out of that habit, and also feeling and experiencing what the cigarette does to my body. I'm happy because I have a very active life. I do sports, and I don't feel anymore like tired or anything like that. It's good for your body, it's good for your mind, and you know, like, if you need to escape for some reason, you need to solve some things in your life. So I hope that my testimony on how I stopped smoking might help you. Please like and subscribe, and leave your comments below as well. Share your story if you've stopped smoking, or if you want to stop smoking, what's holding you. All right, don't forget to subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.